Tell us a little bit about your experience utilizing ExactShot on the farm.
Yep. So with all the technology we have, ExactShot was the one where I had to sit back and think for a little bit, is this worth the investment? Because I like to say, I know you're saving fertilizer, but am I really saving fertilizer? So in our situation, we used it on our corn when we're putting down phosphorus in a form of 1034O. And, phosphorus doesn't move in the soil like the other crops or like the other nutrients. So even though my corn might not use a specific drop of 1034O that year, it's still there for future years. So that's always the one that is the one as of today where it was the toughest sell to me. Now we did go ExactShot and for 2025, we continued to use just a simple fertilizer, 1034 with some zinc. And I saw, within the first field, how many gallons of fertilizer we were saving. Didn't see much yield difference by harvest, but the more important thing is I did not see a yield drop in using ExactShot. It was, the same or maybe a bushel or two better, but I still had the fertilizer savings. But about a month after planting, I guess the slow and steady wins the race, or however you want to say this saying, I thought, why aren't we using ExactShot technology with fertilizer blends or more expensive fertilizers that contain some nitrogen and some sulfur and some other micronutrients that the plant needs that our soils might not necessarily have. So going into 2026, that's what we're really going to focus ExactShot on and do some trials and stuff like that. So my fertilizer bill in 2026 is going to be right up there compatible to where it would have been with a stream of 1034 in the furrow. I expect to see the yields increase just because we're going to have a lot more nutrients right on the seed where it needs it. So that's where ExactShot technology really has me excited. That and the operator is filling way less with fertilizer, so you're getting a tank of fertilizer to a seed or a planter of corn. So that's nice. You're not filling nearly as often. I think we were down to 0.8 gallons or something of actual 1034O usage per acre last year on our corn, which was the equivalent of 5 gallons an acre. So there is serious fertilizer savings there. But we'll see. We'll see how it works in 2026 with the more expensive fertilizers.
Yeah, and you bring up two very, very good points about ExactShot. Is one, maybe because we're saving so much, maybe we can afford to utilize a higher performing or a better quality fertilizer, and then the efficiency gains, not utilizing as much fertilizer. Maybe we can get away from, the 15 saddle tanks on our tractor or pulling the caddy or whatever it may be. We can reduce the amount of product we're actually carrying across the field. So two very good points and I'm happy to hear that you guys are seeing that with 1 year of utilizing ExactShot and then moving into 26 here for your second year. So great to hear that you have that technology.
Not to cut you off, the first and really kind of the only time we filled the planter with fertilizer this year, we still had it in our head that we got to fill the exact rate tanks on the side of the 8RX as well. And once we got a quarter done, and I think there was 150 gallons or whatever missing out of the 600-gallon tank on the corn planter, we realized really quickly that it's going to take a long time to get all this fertilizer out of the tractor and corn planter by the time planting is done. And that was an early lesson learned. So it takes a while to use it.
There you go. Maybe you keep the saddle tanks or in your case, the 8RX exact rate tanks on the tractor there, and you fill with fertilizer once at the beginning of the year and you plant the whole season and not have to fill fertilizer. So that's
pretty much all we had to do last year.